And so one of the things is that I am if there's one thing that drives me nuts, and I've seen it, is market manipulation. And they're really, and frankly, if you've ever, one of the things, if you've been an analyst, I think enough years, you actually get to appreciate what we do. There comes a certain level of responsibility with doing this as a profession, right? And look, I hold a professional engineering designation and a CFA designation, and I generally like to think I'm a relatively decent human being, right? And so it isn't serving either the market or my clients any good by saying, gee, I got a secret. Well, first of all, the first thing everybody should understand, excuse me, it's just the CRA again telling me that I'm in trouble.
They've been ringing me too.
Apparently I owe them some money.
Stop it, guys.
Yeah, and they're going to cancel my social security number. That's
are they?
Like, guys, at least if you're going to try it, just get the right country.
Press 1 and leave your bank details here.
Thanks. But anyway, like the whole idea too is that, I can go write something in. I can go write something in a note. But then you've got the idea is, well, if I'm going to write a note, do I have a reasonable basis to say something in a written publication? Well, I found it. How did I find it out? Okay, but maybe I can ask you on a call, and you can confirm it for me. Right? So now I've got management on the call said this, right? I may have told them I was going to ask the question, and they know, and they're like, well, where'd you find that out? It's here's the industry article where your head of commercial said that your reservation system's fucked, and you can't actually generate ancillary revenue. At which point the CFO said, I need a new fucking head of commercial. Mike, I don't care. One of your senior executives just told me your information systems are impairing your ability to grow revenue. I think that's a fair question for you to have to answer. And he didn't say it to me. He said it to an industry publication. Right? By the way, we're not going to play gotcha on this one. I'm going to call you in advance and say, I'm asking you this question, and here's the article. But you got to answer the question.
I think those. So you've given me two lovely answers to that question, and I see them both. Like first, you're kind of ahead of the market. Well, there's no harm in showing your clients you're ahead of the market. You're in the information asymmetry race, and And secondly, it does you no good to offer advice and everybody else to offer different advice.
Well, and the thing is too that when it's such, essentially when the kind of like because the other piece of having to tell the CFO that the other side of the coin is when investors they're losing their mind. They're like, he needs to be fired. And he was shortly thereafter. Right? I'm cleaning this up. I shouldn't have to be cleaning this up. You as shareholders. You guys get a vote, and you really. And the thing is, the institutional shareholders, they have a problem with management. They're going to let them know. Right. We do a lot of survey work, and I don't know if you know the Brendan Woods guys at all, but they do a lot of investor sentiment scoring and stuff like that, and so we get to see it. And so it's So to my mind, look, there's hey, I got a scoop. There's also the realization that that published research has a shelf life of about a nanosecond. Right? It really does. Right? And my stuff gets widely distributed and the whole bit. But there's no the information value of what we were talking about has no material hey, I can make a client, $100 on it. I've had those conversations where, literally somebody's told me they got a phone call from, a journalist as we're walking through an airport and says, oh yeah, Merger Market just said Vector's getting taken up by Airbus. Oh, okay. Well, when's that supposed to, I don't know, call the desk and say, you guys seen anything on that? They're like, no. It's like, oh, okay, well, let's go buy Vector. Right? Because what the fuck?
Who cares?
Well, and by 10 a.m., iRock shut it down because guess what? Vector just got taken out at a 50% premium, and But the thing is, that kind of thing, you don't want to be making careers on that kind of stuff, right? Like insider information, tipping, all that kind of stuff. There's no value in that long term.
Agreed.
right? Because eventually it's going to catch up.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
So I'm gonna kind of paraphrase some of what you're saying.
Okay.
Yeah. So my econometric focused colleagues,
yeah.
and I've got nothing against them. I think they do a wonderful job.
Yeah, they're great. They're great.
Amazing.
They're wonderful victims.
Amazing.
It's sort of like when everybody tells me I'm going to get replaced by a computer really soon.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, well, what are the computers going to run on, guys?
Yeah.
Well, they're going to just run on consensus estimate. Who's going to prepare consensus estimates?
Yeah. I
love quants. Quants are great.
Yeah, I do too. And I think they do very valuable work, and I think it gives me work to do to correct some of the things that they might be saying.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the things that they often assume is that this is, the Q&A is like you're stepping up to the free throw line every single time. This is a new game every time.
No.
I don't want to put words in my mouth, but I see this as a relationship between you and a firm, or you and a firm's management, or you and a question, or you and a research idea. I mean,
yeah, and not only just me and the firm, but me and like my clients. And keep in mind, as a research analyst, I have clients both internal and external.
Yeah.
I have what I would suggest are professional obligations.
Yeah.
Like ethical obligations, if you will.
Yeah.
And the thing is too that there's also the professional practice part of like, guys, if you've done something really fucking stupid, I'm going to ask you about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. Like when the head of WestJet gets up and says, "I don't give a fuck about the pilots getting a settlement.
Yeah.
They can go 5 years if they need to." I'm like, dude, you're in Canada. You're not breaking a federal union with a liberal government.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's like, they'll be fine.
Yeah.
They'll get over it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me know how that strike worked out, Craig. Oh, by the way, yeah. And when the pilots went to the board and said, you get two options: you can fire him, or we can just take the company out.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? New CEO.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like when you ask these questions, like it's not arbitrary.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And so you think about it, and so it's you're right. I mean, but it's stakeholder relationship management across a number of facets.
Yeah.
Right. And frankly, you just want to do a good job.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Like some days it's just here's a softball, just go hit it.
Yeah.
Thanks. On to the next question. I got 4 other guys reporting. And other times it's like, okay, this is important. Let's talk about this.
Because I'm very nervous. I've just seen the time. There's no clock in here, but I've just seen the time on my timer. I'm not sure how much longer you've got. Can I squeeze in a couple more questions?
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
So I'm going to actually. This is quite a tricky question, Chris, and I'm going to put it to you anyway. So let's
trust me. Worst I can do is say no.
So let us presume, just for an instance, there are good and bad questions, and let's assume that on a zero context day, a bad question or a not so good question or a low quality question is, tell me more about your M&A strategy. Right. Let's say this is a low quality question.
Yeah.
Okay. What I want to know from you, Chris, is how do you convert that into being a good question?
Well, and again, that what I would say is, I think if you've done your homework, maybe I'll answer this a slightly different way.
Yeah.
The one thing, and I've told all my associates this and all my analysts this, if I ever hear you get on a conference call and say, all my questions have been answered, thanks.
Yeah.
I'm going to fucking fire you.
Good. Because that's a bad question.
That's a dumb. That's not even a question. That's a. Like, I don't have the curiosity or creativity to come up with anything. I'm like, that's a bad question, right? The other ones that kill me are and you get this more in small cap world than you do in large cap. Yeah. It's like I'm sitting in front of the model. So what's the depreciation rate? What's the tax rate?
Yeah.
I'm sitting here updating my model.
Yeah.
Can we just kind of so I can plug my numbers in so I get the note out?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I go on like those are kind of a waste of time, right? It's like call the company after the fact if you need some model help, but you can tell.
Yeah.
Right? Like if we've done it enough, you can tell. How do you take a question like, what's your strategy on this?
Yeah.
I think I would say, first of all, have a better question.
Yeah.
Right? Like just flat out have a better question.
Yeah.
Right? Because to ask somebody who's essentially a CEO of a company whose essentially only reason for being